White has one more pawn in this position, but converting that into a win is not so easy. And with that, welcome to the most beautiful chess problems of all time. This is a problem by Richter from the year 1953. It's White's move, White can win the game, so feel free to pause the video. So, you had the chance to pause the video, and now let's take a look at what White can play here. The first idea that might come to mind is, of course, rook to h7, giving a check first. However, Black will respond with king to g4, and although you can push the pawn to g7 to get it closer to promotion, Black is just in time to stop the promotion with rook to g5. And yeah, as White, we don't really make any progress here if we try to bring the king over for support. Yes, Black will also bring his king over, and he simply gets there faster, can capture the pawn here, and secure the draw that way. So, just giving a check here can't be the solution. And if you try to play rook to g8 first to clear the way a bit for the pawn, well, congratulations. Missing a mate in one, that can happen too. But now let's get to the correct solution, which starts with the move rook to f7. So what does that lead to? Well, we've already eliminated that mate threat, which is a good thing. And yes, Black's best try here is probably to respond with rook to g5, attacking the pawn for now, but White will defend the pawn with g7. And yes, Black has to somehow make progress against this pawn, so he simply brings his king closer. And as soon as that happens, rook to f4. And now, Black has a few options here. Let's take a look at what happens after king to a3, then comes rook to f2, and a pretty nice combination. Black might genuinely think to themselves, oh, now I've successfully won this valuable pawn here on the board. But not so fast. White, with a clever and decisive move, manages to skillfully capture the opposing rook and in doing so ultimately win the entire game. And if Black thinks, I'm a bit smarter, I'll just play rook to g6 because then my king will be there in time to protect my own rook. Well, that doesn't help either because after takes, White promotes the pawn to a queen and Black also loses the game here. That's why the most committed defensive move should be for Black to move the king to h5, with the plan of attacking this pawn again and capturing it if possible. But now White has a very, very beautiful move here. Can you find it? Feel free to pause the video again. And if you found it, it's rook to f5. Here, we pin the rook to the king so the white pawn can't be captured. But now you might think, okay, but then Black can just take the rook. Of course, it's not that simple. With White, we promote to a queen, and queen versus rook is a theoretically one endgame. And yes, with best play, White should be able to win this game. That's it for today's study. If you enjoyed it and want to see more videos like this, feel free to leave a like. And hopefully we'll see each other again in the next video.